Well, it's 28th of January, 2022. Apple killed it. Microsoft had killed it. I guess Tesla was down $100 the other day when it released earnings. So Microsoft and Apple killed it. That should really make T triple Q go up. But as you can see this morning, we've come back a little bit. It was down $1 something earlier, or maybe less than that. Maybe, yeah, $1 something. Yeah. So we're down 50 cents now. This thing is right now. It's really acting like it wants to still drift down. I don't know what's going to make this market go up. It was up to 52.76. Somebody wanted to trade this thing to make a point or two or whatever as it goes up. It's got a lot of movement, buy and sell, buy and sell. But that would only be if you had new money and you're willing to go long at this point. For us, this is down from 90, so we've lost a huge amount of money on this thing. At this point, you kind of have the thought of, well, let's say all that money that we lost, we've already lost, it's gone. What would we invest in at this point? And then picking this up while it's this low seems like it would be a good investment, even though this is the same thing we lost the money in. So I think you have to kind of look at it that way. At what point would we get back to 90? This is almost a double from here. We're willing to hold this thing until it gets down to like 45 or something like that. At that point, I don't know. Maybe we'll even hold it lower. Are we going to have a recession, or is the current administration going to, destroy the economy so much? I don't know. It looks like the GDP numbers came out. Inflation is a problem, but GDP seems like it's pretty good. So I'm not sure about that. Looks like that this is just something that might resolve itself in the second quarter. Of course, we'd feel comfortable if we got back up to in the 70 range, and we could just hold this forever until it went to all-time highs. When it's really low like this, has been cut so much, then it's just horrific. I don't know what else to say. But if we look at the chart here, after the split, we were at 70, which was down from 76. So that kind of started the thing after the split. It actually started going down, which I don't think had anything to do with the split. But we've been falling. We've only been falling for a week or so here. So, will this thing turn? I'm not sure. Just looking back through here, where we've come from, and it really hasn't been that long to where we were up in the 80s. And of course, we caught it almost at the peak where we got it put to us in this really horrible trading. So I guess we caught it here on the 22nd of November. So we've been stuck for 2 months. This horrific downturn. If you look at the chart here, you can see how horrific it is, really. I mean, because if you look at the 5-year chart, this is a huge dip. I mean, if you look at all the other dips, even the dip that I'm not sure what the chart is doing here, loading. Even if you look at the dips for COVID, the COVID dip right here, and of course, there was no big dips out 2018. Some small dips that come up. This was a huge dip right here. This is a really nice dip. But we've had some dips along the way as it's going up. But now this dip is just horrendous. So it went from, it shows 88 here. So we caught it even higher than that. Those were friggin' ridiculous. And then, it's down here. So 5 years still looking good. 2 years still got a double. And then, of course, the 1 year is not looking good at all. It's up 7% on the 1 year. We almost lost everything for a year. This thing. And then the companies have not done good for a year, but they're putting record profits out for Microsoft and Apple. So this thing's got to reverse. It's just ridiculous. I don't know if the smaller stocks are killing it. And then let's see what Tesla's doing. The thing about Tesla, Musk might be a genius, and he is a genius. He's a genius of our time. But if we look at Tesla here, the problem with Tesla is, it could definitely be said that this thing could go down more because the PE ratio is so high. So if we look at Tesla, I don't know why this is saying it's not the price of Tesla. I don't know why it's saying. So, not sure why these. Oh, there we go. There's the price of Tesla. So, this has had a enormous run up in 2021, and then 1 year now it's down 5% for the year, but for the 2 years it's up 536% for a 2 year. So if you had this thing, you've just made killer money. But the problem you got to look at with Tesla is, the P ratio is 270. So even if you think this thing's going to go berserk because he's a genius, which it may, and it's it's one of those stocks that have a huge following, big following stock, like, some of the other big stocks. But this thing, was up to 1,200 and it's come down to 800. With this P ratio, let's say it went down to 400 and it had a P ratio of 135. Would you still say that was high? I mean, if it wasn't a hugely followed stock, people had the huge following, they would say, that's reasonable. Is this a reasonable P ratio? Maybe because he's changing the world. It is maybe, but who knows? Looks like the market just went positive again. So we're back up to 52, which we've been holding around this area. So this is not scaring us, in this area because we already been here, but we're down $300,000. So yeah, what can you say? It's horrendous. I've lost most of the money I made last year. Not all of it, but most of it. And at this point, I guess we're going to hold. Else we'd have to sell them and turn around and start trading again, and then we'd probably trade in and out of T triple Q. And so, wow, it's just horrendous. I don't know what else to say. So the naysayers that said, if you're holding these triples and they have a huge spike down, then you're going to get pummeled. They were definitely true at this point. Of course, we made the money in triples from 135,000 to 921 at one point. So we went from there in less than 36 months, and so something like 34 months. The last 2 months have been horrendous, though. So we'll see where this goes. So people that have new money and are willing to trade, you're trading when the market is way, way down. So this is not a time to be scared. But if you're holding like I am, then, that's most of the people in the market. If they're buy and hold, or if they got stuck, then, it's sucking big time. So what else can we say? So not putting a lot of videos out because there's not really much to say when you're stuck from 90 down to 50, 52 now. So, and I realize the percentages going down while they're really bad, the percentages going back up are even worse. So, I mean, this thing would have to have, and off the lows getting a double or something, going back to 100 is not, unheard of for sure. But, we're going to need some time to do that. If this thing bumps up to 70 or something like that, then that would be a range where you could hold it long term and it'd be like, But if this thing goes down to 40 or 35, then you have to start questioning, like, well, are you going to just lose everything? So those are the thoughts that go through people's mind. Or you could just say ostrich in the sand, and this is what I got, and I'm just going to hold them and see where they go. So we'll see how this works out. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll be back up. If not, then we got a losing trade here.